Hello, hello, and welcome back for more Scales, Fangs, and Fury as Jurasskicked Park continues chasing their dream of victoriously hoisting the coveted Perfidious Cup in Blood Bowl 2. And it looks like the competition may finally start heating up here for the Perfidious Cup. Especially if you take a look at last week's match against Dissevered Jaws, which was effectively the first game in which an opponent still had a team on the field at the end of the match. And sure, Dissevered Jaws never scored. I'm not even sure they ever made it to even our half of the field, but that doesn't mean they're bad. It just sort of means they're like your buddy Jimmy from high school. And you know the Jimmy I'm talking about, whether or not you know Jimmy, but Jimmy was the guy who always talked a big game about how suave he was with the ladies and how he had a girlfriend in Canada named Sylvia that he spent all summer vacation long boning while he was away. But then you found out later that the girl Jimmy brought to prom and introduced as Sylvia was actually just his cousin from Des Moines. Yeah, that's Jimmy, and you knew that guy. And that's pretty much the exact same treatment we got from Dissevered Jaws. But you know what? You got to give them a little credit. I mean, yeah, they sucked, and yeah, they never scored, just like Jimmy. But just like Jimmy, they were also willing to go to extensively ridiculous efforts to maintain the pretense and illusion of competence. So you got to give him credit for that. This week's matchup, though, should be a little bit different in that we're facing off against Stone Swarm, a Lizard Man team that probably also won't score, but might manage to get little Susie Miller drunk enough on lime vodka that she's willing to let them cop a pity feel or two. I mean, strictly over the shirt here with Susie. I mean, she's a chaste girl, but, you know, over the shirt still counts as second base, even if you do get picked off sliding into the bag, which I think should technically be the actual base-wise term for a little over-the-shirt groping, getting thrown out at second. I mean, you did touch the bag, even if it was just only for a split second before the umpire gave you the thumb and sent you packing. Anyway, we have inducements? No, we have a journeyman. That's right, we had an injury last game, and we have one of our players who is out with, I believe, a smashed hand. We also have 170 in cash. We should spend some of that because it is adding to our team rating. We'll have to make a note to get rid of a little extra slush fund cash between matches, but no inducements for us. It doesn't look like the AI took any. We have a 1230. They should be entitled to a reasonably large amount of inducements, actually. We'll have to see how they purchased it, or if they purchased anything. They were under us in rating, and if ours got bumped up by a journeyman, they should have gotten even further inducements. They should have at least had enough for a Bloodweiser, babe. Yeah, well, we're playing in the diseased crack. Okay. That's a terrible, terrible name for a stadium. It's also a terribly unfortunate health consequence. I mean, whether we're talking about a front crack or a back crack, if you got a diseased crack, you need to go seek medical treatment immediately. Also, never tell me about your diseased crack. I don't care what kind of disease your crack has. I don't want to know about it. If you've got like a ruptured suppurating hemorrhoid, yeah, keep that shit to yourself. You got like some kind of yeast infection or chlamydia, whatever you got going on in a diseased front crack, again, I don't want to know. Well, I suppose unless I'm about to, you know, maybe have interaction with said diseased crack, in which case, then please, I do feel that a little warning is probably appropriate, and in some states, possibly mandated legally. You got gonorrhea, I think you have to tell people. All right, so we're going to take the ball. Speaking of gonorrhea, I mean, we've got the ball. We're going to handle it. No big man? Oh, okay. That's unexpected. So let's take a look at the AI team very quickly. Garza. This guy, what have you got? You've got an ability. What have you got? Fend. Not what I would have chosen for Sariel, but it actually is kind of an interesting pick. Any of these other guys have abilities? Oh, you do. What have you got? You have Mighty Blow. Also a good pick. A lot of level 2 Sariels here. Geez, these guys have a ton of SPP. Piling on. Okay, that's interesting. Any of these skinks buffed up a little? Level 1, level 1. They have a skink anchoring their front line. Okay, that's questionable. I can't click you. Why can't I click you? Gore of Gold. All right, so none of their skinks are enhanced level at all. Where's our journeyman, by the way? Where is he? Ray? Robert? Dennis? Not to be confused with Ray Dennis Stecker. There he is. Ots of Dawn. Yeah, well, Ots of Dawn, guess what? Go be cannon fodder. Meanwhile, the Ray Arnold, the actual useful skink, who I think has catch, right? Yeah, needs to be back there ready to catch the fucking ball. We've got Muldoon. Well, fuck that. Dennis Nedry has catch and sidestep, right? Yeah, so we need to change this up, too. So, Nedry, I want you here. And then I also want Robert Muldoon switching with Ray Arnold. I want Ray Arnold and Dennis Nedry in my backfield. These boys got my catch. All right. That's our setup, then. Here comes the kick. Oh, a tailspin whack. Ooh, very suave. Very Michael Jackson. All right, so we've got a high kick. Anybody we want can catch it. This is actually a pretty good kick for us, given the enemy's defensive formation. And I think we got to have Dennis Nedry go grab this. All right, Nedry. You've got catch and sidestep here, pal. There it is. He actually did roll a 1, but the reroll worked. Now the game is afoot. We can build a pretty strong cage right from the get-go, I think. If we can block this guy free and then do a... Okay. So if John Hammond cannot fail us for a change... Oh, he did. Oh, John Hammond. It's so good. Follow this up, baby. Oh, things are looking strong right from the get-go. So we take that block, then we do this block right here. It's a 3-die block on a skink with Timothy Murphy. It's going to get dodged, but it doesn't really matter. All we need that guy to do is move. Now, we've got 2 Sariels who are completely unengaged, and we haven't even used our blitz yet. So if we were to go here and here, we could then cage here with almost no concern or worry. Would we be able to effectively move the cage next turn? Yes, because we could just roll it inside out with a couple blocks. Yeah, this is actually pretty good. And in fact, we might be able to... Yeah, we can actually do a blitz, too. It's only a 1-die blitz. That's not that good. You don't have block, do you? Oh, Dr. Ellie... Oh, our team was badly out of position because this is Dr. Ellie Sadler. Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. I'm going to take the 1-die blitz with Dr. Ellie Sadler. We've still got our reroll, so if we're going to do something questionable that might require a reroll, now is the time. And having block on Dr. Sadler is quite useful. Oh, we can't follow this up because that guy has fend. But we blitzed. Okay, good. It was perfect that we blitzed. Blitzing that guy was the right option. Excellent. Oh, we're going to have such a good cage. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Got you for 3 minutes in a cage with Bonesaw. Or, you know, with Dr. Henry Woo-Woo, gynecologist extraordinaire. This is very good. We have a very strong early formation. Can we... If we pull you off the line... That's probably a bad idea. I think we'd be better off to bring you here and just apply some extra tackle zones in the center. So one corner of this cage is going to be skink-based, which is not optimal, but we can probably make it work. So we're going to bring Ray Arnold there. We're going to have Robert Muldoon be the back corner of our cage. I don't like that, but sometimes, you know, the ideal situation, sometimes you got to compromise. Sometimes you have to take the compromise choice. I mean, it's just like Congress and politicians, which, by the way, gentlemen, sometimes you have to compromise. I don't know if anybody ever told you that, but... And let's not follow that up. Let's keep this man in the clear so he can go do some interesting things for us. And Orts of Dawn here is going to have to make a... yeah, you're taking one for the team on this, pal. You'll apply some tackle zones so that we can at least force the AI to try and dodge, and that's going to be the end of our turn. All right, so far, so good. I'm actually pretty pleased with how that first turn turned out. We got lucky with the high kick, and actually kind of a poor kick. It wound up in sort of a shitty spot. Why is the AI running away from us? What do they know that we don't? Are they really that worried about Orts of Dawn? Because it's not like I'm going to go out of my way to throw it across the field as a Lizard Man team. I don't really have throwers. Are they that desperate to injure him, I guess? I mean, he's a journeyman. I don't care what you did to him. You could straight up kill him. And if that's the only injury the team suffers, I don't give a single shit. If you want to murder him, go. I mean, by all means, do your worst. Murder away. You can take him on the altar and sacrifice him to Baal. You can sacrifice him to your god for all I care. Because I really don't. I don't care at all. I don't give even a tiny shit. This is interesting. We have a block here that we can't follow up under any circumstance, but we do still have our reroll. Holy shit, this team has 4 rerolls. Well, I guess I know where they spent all of their Croxagore money. I'm only doing this because Dr. Ellie Sadler has block. If she didn't have block, I probably would not be taking those moves, but since Dr. Ellie Sadler does have block, that gives us options. See, it's going to be way scarier next turn when we have to do it with Dr. Henry Wu. It's going to be way, way scarier. We don't need to move you at all. So we go here. And here. The front corner of our cage is going to be skink base. Do I really want to do that? You know what? Yeah, actually, I kind of do. So we're going to get Ray Arnold. He's going to come up here. This front corner of our cage is going to be skink based. We're going to go for the blitz. It's a 2-die blitz. I mean, sure, Robert Muldoon is a skink, and he's only a tiny little skink, but if a skink can get a 2-die blitz, you take the 2-die blitz. He's going to dodge. We're going to follow it up. The cage is reestablished. Dennis Nedry steps to the center of the cage, and we're in a very good position here offensively. We could hand it off and just run it in next turn, and if we have 2 rerolls at the start of the turn, I think that may be exactly what we do. First things first, though, we're going to bring Dr. Alan Grant over here. We're going to block this cat. So Alan's going to come over. We already used our blitz, so of course we couldn't have Alan blitz, but it does give Alexis Lex Murphy an extra die. Not that Lex needed it. She's been spot on. No follow-up, please. We need to maintain the cage. Good shot from Lex. Not going to be many armor breaks or injuries in this game. That's just... It's really not something you're going to be seeing much of. That was... I should not have re-rolled that. I definitely shouldn't have re-rolled it because I fucking rolled Snake Eyes twice. But I shouldn't have re-rolled it in the first place. I just wasted a re-roll. We were in a fine position. Taking the re-roll there was definitely the wrong choice. We should just let well enough alone. Back-to-back Snake Eyes, though. Yeah, that's delightful. How's the cage holding up? Looks good. All right, so this guy's going to stand. He did not blitz. If we can get it... okay. A lot of dodging for what... Why is that not a red die block? Well, we're definitely going to sidestep to there. How is that not a red die block? That was a 1-die block. He had every strength. He should not have had this guy's strength bonus negated, and he should not have been getting a strength bonus from this tile. Everybody who could have been applying a bonus was also in one of our tackle zones. I don't know how that worked. I really don't. We should have had a strength bonus from this guy. I'm very confused as to the specifics of how that was a 1-die blitz. Is this guy, he's level 1, right? Yeah, he has nothing. There's no way that should have been a 2-die blitz running into the middle of my cage. I am extremely confused. This is going to be a 1-die. Yeah, and we would have to use a reroll if things went bad. So, what's the better option? Take a 3-die block to start? That means we have no chance at all of blocking that cat. I mean, literally none. We do need to get this guy out of the way. We could do it here as well. That's fine. Let's have Dr. Ellie Sadler do it. Alright, so this skink is going down. May or may not be yelling timber. We're not going to follow that up. Get out of my cage, by the way. And I know commonly the follow-up to that is get into my car, but in this case I actually don't want you to get into my car. I just want Dr. Henry Wu to push this man off the field. Yeah, you can fend all you want, champ. Why don't you try and fucking fend off the crowd? A Waddle XL. Also, you shouldn't put your size on your actual nameplate. Yeah, he's KO'd. Go say goodnight. Don't stand near the edge of the pitch. That's what you should learn from that. It's the takeaway. And we can score with a single go for it. We've still got 1 reroll. If we need to use it, I absolutely will. We do not. Touchdown. Oh, it's good. Dennis Nedry continues his absolute scumbag domination of the Lizard Men. Man, John Hammond, he knew what he was doing when he hired that Dennis Nedry. I mean, if you know somebody who can debug a million lines of code for what Dennis Nedry bid, you're welcome to hire him, but I don't think that person actually exists. Knocked Out Sariel is immediately back on the field, so he was gone for a whopping he wasn't even gone for like a full turn. He was gone for 1 move. Still, our defensive setup looks strong. We do need to know where our journeyman is. He needs to be, all right, journeyman is already in cannon fodder position. Cannon fodder position is right where we want him. So let's just kick it. I would love to see it land on that Sariel because he is not going to catch it. All right, so Stone Swarm is moving in. Coming over with the skink, and they have nothing now on this left side. We have unfettered access to the AI's backfield. And if somebody offers you unfettered access to your backfield, I mean, you really should consider taking them up on that offer, because that's not something that's going to come along every day. Unfettered access to the backfield, I mean, that's nothing to sneeze at. Now they did put a skink in the way, so I suppose it's not unfettered access, it's slightly fettered access to the backfield. Very slightly fettered. They don't cheat line here, putting a block on Dr. Henry Woo-Woo, gynecologist extraordinaire. Woo-Woo goes down. I wonder if Dr. Henry Woo is a big fan of Ric Flair. I mean, maybe it's not Dr. Henry Woo, maybe it's Dr. Henry Woo! You think? You think he's a wrestling fan? Seems like the kind of cat who might be really into wrestling. Alexis Lex Murphy, not into wrestling, but definitely into getting fucking punched in the face and falling on her ass. Not a lot of progress coming out of the Stone Swarm here. I mean, they don't really have a cage. They've got a reasonably effective setup there, but we might be able to bust this wide open. It's going to take a little doing from John Hammond, and we need to get a little lucky here. We need to get a little luckier than we did. Old Timothy Murphy, not necessarily pulling his weight there. We could blitz into here, right? That's not a terrible blitz, but we have to worry about this left side because otherwise Team Skink can just come around and wreck our shit. Let's go ahead and take the 2-die blitz for starters, though, because I do like this, and it effectively closes off the right side as an avenue of attack for this Lizard Man team. It also gives us two, count them, not one, but two people who have tackle zones now on the ball carrier, and we can fence up a little. Let's just bring Robert Muldoon forward. And I think we will just cut off the outside lane on the right. This left side is a little more concerning. We're going to want to have Lex stand up. We're going to have Dr. Henry Woo stand up. And we're just going to maintain our fence here. And I think we will have some of the... Yeah, we're going to have expendable Lizard, Orts of Dawn, fall back. Dennis Nedry's just going to step up a little bit. This way, if we've got this guy trying to dodge his way through, he's going to have to take dodges into multiple tackle zones. I actually like Dr. Ellie Sadler right where she's at currently. 2-die blitz, 2-die blitz. We've got 2-die blocks all over everywhere. If we could put our prehensile tail next to the ball carrier, that would be fantastic. Okay, that's really good. I got a feeling that Team Skink here may be coughing up the ball. Getting next to the guy with prehensile tail is a pretty dangerous choice. I'm only taking this block because Dr. Alan Grant actually has the block ability, and I got fucked by rolling a 1. Twice. Fan-fucking-tastic. Oh, and Dr. Alan Grant is knocked the fuck out. Well, that could not have gone worse. We rolled a 1, wasted a reroll, rolled another 1, and then got fucking armor broke on our own turn. I guess you shouldn't have trusted the tree limb to hold that Ford Explorer safely skyward, Dr. Alan Grant. I mean, the structural integrity of the tree clearly isn't what it once was. A joke they would use twice in Jurassic Park, by the way, I'd like to point out. They went to that well twice, used that bit 2 times. A lot of trucks and trees in Jurassic Park. A lot of trucks and trees. Ford both times, by the way. Will they try and dodge away from a prehensile tail? I really don't think the AI will take that sort of a risk. And if they don't, there's very little they're going to be able to do offensively, because they're either going to be stuck there until we bonehead. Oh, they're fouling? Oh, no, he used his pile-on ability. Okay. So a blitz and a pile-on there. A little bit of a push. The AI is making a bit of a lane here. We still have full fence coverage. There are no fully open spaces for that to scatter through, but we're starting to get into some dangerous territory here. This would be dodging out of a tackle zone. Anyway, but here, he's dodging out of a tackle zone and into a tackle zone. A both down block. You probably should have taken both down there. You can't push us away, or at least not far enough away to get rid of prehensile tail, which is exactly what the AI was trying to do. They were trying to clear the prehensile tail on the skink, and now they're going to try and pile as many strength penalties onto John Hammond as they can so that this isn't a 3-die block. Unfortunately, they just may not have enough strength penalty to apply. Or they do. I mean, we can still get a 2-die block. We could negate all of that, though, or at least a big chunk of that, just by stepping to here. I think we'll do that, but before I do, let's take this 2-die block and see if we can put this... You've got to be fucking shitting me! the rolls. Our luck has been just... it's 1, 1, 1, 2 is what we've rolled now. That's our last 4 rolls. Fantastic. Yep. I probably should have just thrown a 2-die block at the ball carrier, but you know what? Had I thrown a 2-die block at the ball carrier, it actually would have made no difference whatsoever. I definitely should have had Dr. Ian Malcolm stand up, though, because now the AI may be able to block their way free. They can also bring some of these guys over to help add extra... Well, John Hammond's just going to go down. Well, brilliant. Now we're in a very difficult situation because the AI can just dodge. Oh, this rolling is real frustrating. Now the AI won't even have to dodge. They can do whatever they want with the ball carrier. They have an open lane. Our fence is fucking crumbled. We're going to have to get goddamn Robert Frost up here to mend this shit immediately. They say good fences make good neighbors, but... not sure Robert knew what the fuck he was talking about. Good fences will keep skinks out of your goddamn half of the field, though. And the AI's luck continues to be vastly superior to ours. Suspiciously superior, in fact. Rolling a lot of 1s here. And the AI is rolling a lot of 6s as well. Defender down, defender down, defender down. Seeing that a surprisingly large percentage of the time. All right, so you got to stand up. You've got to stand up and step to here. Dr. Henry Wu has got to apply some pressure to the ball carrier. I mean, it's a limited amount of pressure. John Hammond, I could have told you he was going to bonehead. That was so predictable. So it's all about fencing now. Our goal is going to try and be to just prevent the AI from scoring in the amount of time they have left. We're just going to have to fence up and hope we can slow them down. We can't roll anything. Anytime I have to throw a die, it's going to fucking fail. We have no dice to throw at any sort of problem. And this guy does still have fence, so even if we put him down, we can't follow it up. It doesn't really matter. We're just really trying to get him. Oh, that guy doesn't have fend. He has piling on. Well, good. Let's go to, say, here then with a little GFI. I don't have rerolls, but it doesn't matter. We're on fucking Tommy and Gina living on a prayer style hopes at this point. There really isn't much of anything we can actually do. We're gonna go there just to reinforce our fence a bit. And I sort of like Orts of Dawn right where he's at. You need to stand up. Alright, so John Hammond has gone from superhero to fucking schmuck in the amount of time it takes to boil an egg here. And based on the way he's playing, if he doesn't fucking start turning things around, I'm gonna be boiling dinosaur eggs. John, I know you spent a lot of money making dinosaurs, although since you used frog DNA, technically not dinosaurs, but still, you spent a lot of money developing that shit, and if you don't quit fucking around, I'm gonna boil your life's work right in front of you. I'm gonna make you watch me do it, too. We will be sidestepping to here. This is going to get Dennis Nedry blocked again by this skink, but it does also help us maintain the fence. Anywhere we dodge, we're probably going to get blocked. We could get next to the ball carrier, though, and I think we got to take the risk. We're also forcing the AI to kind of fuck up their own formation. Well, that was pretty much inevitable. If he follows, yeah. Make him pay $50 every day? No. All right, well, that's it for Dennis Nedry then. He's going to go take a little nap now. We rode the bull till it bucked us, and it was only really a matter of time until one of those blocks resulted in an injury. It's not like skinks are designed for absorbing punishment. On the plus side, we only have to hold the AI off 2 more turns after this one, and while I don't think I won't say we have a bad chance at it. We actually have a respectable chance of successfully defending here. The AI is very effectively painting us, too. They're making sure to maximize their strength bonuses and keeping our guys sort of on their back foot. I don't like it when the AI does things that are smart. We have no tackle zones on the ball. It would be real nice if John Hammond would just fucking stand up. Speaking of standing up, Dr. Henry Wu, get on your feet. Ellie, I really need you not to fuck up this 1-die block. I don't have a reroll, so please don't dick it up. And then follow that up, please. Okay, thank you. I appreciate your contributions to the project, the things that you have offered, the things that you are currently delivering on a daily basis. I appreciate your efforts. Thank you. You are a credit to your profession, Dr. Ellie Sadler. Unlike the rest of this team, who is anything but. I think if we're going to blitz, let's do it from over here. We have to go for it. Well, there's more effective ways to do that then. Go to here, 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 and then there. There you go. Now no go for it. We have no rerolls. Making a go for it is a dangerous thing. Why didn't I buy a reroll? I thought I did buy a reroll at the end of last episode. We're not going to move. We still have the blitz. And you know what? I am going to take one more go for it just to throw a tackle zone on the ball carrier and force the AI to commit to some more aggressive, little more aggressive offensive strategy here. How come I Well, that's terrible. Now we're one block away from the AI simply making a single dodge to walk into our end zone. Took that one die block with Alexis Lex Murphy because she had block and the person she was blocking didn't. Only on a roll of a 1 were we going to get boned, which, of course, is exactly what we fucking rolled. Our luck on this has been very poor. We've really gotten very unlucky on a couple pretty critical rolls. On the plus side, the AI cannot score on this turn. There's no way they score. I mean, it's literally a mathematical impossibility. Gore of Gold is simply not fast enough. I think the smartest play for the AI, however, would be to simply just try and make a break for it and run for the end zone. I do honestly think that would be their best bet. They have fucking 3 rerolls left. Because apparently this team spent all of its money on rerolls, and I'd say it's a good strategy, but it's not a good strategy. I mean, it wouldn't be a good strategy for us, at least, because our rerolls never seem to matter. It's a little Bohemian Rhapsody kind of thing. Nothing really matters. Nothing really matters to me. Or to Jurasskicked Park. Or to John Hammond, who has, I gotta say, Hammond, 2 SPP over the season so far. I'm beginning to question your value, especially having played Stone Swarm here, who seem to be holding their own with no big man. No big man. And still they're doing all right. It almost really didn't matter what happened to Dr. Ellie Sadler there. They were going to be able to clear tackle zones. They could dodge to there, but that's into a tackle zone. They can't go through. They would have to go this way. But the AI actually has no path. Well, they could go here, here. So if they go 1, 2... Without a go for it, they make it to here. With a go for it, possibly up to here, which would make them all but uncatchable. We would have to dodge probably twice and hope for a miracle block from one of our skinks to prevent the score. Yeah, the AI should simply make a break for it. That would be the smart move for the AI, is to just try and run it. Make a big old break. You should be running it right now. I know you haven't used your reroll yet, but actually this block on... Man, the AI's luck with these blocks has been just unbelievable. That gives us 1 less opportunity, and then you go 1 square. You had the whole world in your hands for the taking, AI. All you had to do there was just run like hell. With this guy down, and this guy also probably would have been down because you would have taken the roll when you needed it. We would have had no way to... We wouldn't have been able to catch the AI at all. We would have had no... God damn, the AI's rolling. So good. They never fail. And now instead, you've basically guaranteed you can't score because there's no combination of moves that allows them to get into the end zone. Yeah, there's no way the AI can score. Even if they hand it off, no, they can't do it. So, yeah. Alright, so the AI playing dumb and costing themselves a potential tying score. They could have scored it and gotten the ball back on their next run. We have had no luck with armor breaks. I don't even know if we've had an armor break yet this game. I kind of think we haven't actually had an armor break. Pretty sure we haven't had an armor break. Do we need Dr. Ian Malcolm to stand up? The answer is no. The AI cannot score, so there's nothing we really need to... Nothing we really need to do. Our rolling continues to be terrible. It's just fortunately we have Dr. Ellie Sadler on our side. So if we're not going to do that, what should we do? I think the answer is we try and trade a skink or a Sariel. I'm thinking we may have to foul here. I don't ordinarily really like fouling, especially in online play, just because it seems kind of cheesy and cheap. But against the AI, I don't really care, and sometimes it is optimal. It's actually the optimal solution to what can be a bad problem, is to just go for the foul. Let's take this as our blitz move, and right now I'm just trying to farm SPP in any way I can. I'm trying to injure some of these skinks as best of my ability, while minimizing the amount of blowback we're going to get from the opposition. I don't really want to have Ray Arnold stand up because it doesn't do us any good. This guy's already in a tackle zone that is prehensile tailed. Likewise, just out of an abundance of caution, I'm going to have Alexis Lex Murphy stand up. I don't want to foul with the Sariel. I wanted to foul with the skink. I fucked that up, didn't I? I sure did. Now the question is then, do I want to foul at all? That's not even likely to work. What's this like? It's still only 42%. Well, for 42%, I don't really think it's worthwhile. I'm not going to try and trade a Sariel for a Sariel. That's not useful. I don't suppose you could get all the way over there, could you? You could, but you have then a terrible chance to even get the foul to work. What if you came over here on this guy? Still only 42. What if you stood up? I do want this. Yeah, let's just take some ridiculous chances here. We'll go double dodge foul. Fouling a skink with a skink is, I mean, best in even trade. At worst, a one-man loss for us, but we didn't get sent off. We didn't get an armor break either. That's probably going to be the end of the turn. Well, we could step to here. That's fine. A little additional pressure just to make sure the AI has even less of a chance of scoring. Then we end our turn. So a relatively even first half, except for some terrible, terrible rolling on the part of Jurasskicked Park. But some clever early moves did give us the one touchdown advantage on offense. We are going to be kicking off to the Stone Swarm next turn. And I have to say, the situation we're in right now, if the Stone Swarm had had those extra couple turns, I think they probably could have engineered a touchdown. So we're going to have to really try and concentrate and play a little better defense in the second half, unless we want this to wind up a 1-1 tie. I don't want this to end up a 1-1 tie, because ties are for European football. Nobody likes a tie. Nobody wins, everybody's dissatisfied. I guess alternatively, nobody loses, but it's not really the way that we as humans celebrate society. We don't go, yay, nobody lost. You don't hear that. Everybody played very well, and it was a rousingly enjoyable game for all. Everybody had a fun time. That's not the kind of thing you hear about sports or sporting events. Nobody likes a tie. But here in America, our sports almost never end in ties. I mean, if we'll play baseball for 20 innings if we have to, just so make sure that shit does not end in a tie. The only time that game can end in a tie is if there's a rain delay, or it gets rained out, in which case they just play that game again. No ties in baseball. No ties in American football either. We'll go to sudden death if we have to. We'll literally kill a human on the field in the name of battle. The gods of sport will be sated in blood if we must, but they will be sated. Their thirst is unending. It doesn't matter what it takes. There will be blood. Someone will emerge victorious. This shit will end with a decided winner. There will be none of this nebulous tie bullshit. As long as that's not a legitimate injury, I don't care. Dr. Henry Wu can be stunned for as long as he wants. Little piling on action as well. And the pile on maneuver got the AI nothing. I mean, it got him an extra injury roll, because that's what piling on does. Alright, so both of our KO'd players are coming back. We had a guy who was knocked out. One of our Sariels got knocked out. When? I mean, it hardly matters. They came back onto the field. So we're at full strength. AI team at full strength +1, in fact. I don't expect that to matter, however. Our defensive setup looks solid. All right, let's do the second half. We're going to need a little better rolling out of some of you guys, I'd just like to say. Praise be to Nuffle. Also, fucking John Hammond, don't goddamn embarrass yourself, because that crack I made earlier about boiling the eggs of your children, I was 100% fucking serious about that shit. I will boil them and make you watch. It'll be like the whole scene from Fatal Attraction, where she boiled a bunny rabbit, except instead of bunny rabbits, it's going to be your little baby dinosaur children. I'm going to boil their asses alive. Well, I don't know. I mean, yeah, sure, I guess I was going to say alive, but does alive count an egg be unhatched? But yeah, I suppose it counts. I mean, they're alive. There's a dinosaur alive in there. Or at least whatever genetic abomination John Hammond is calling a dinosaur this week. Megasaurus Rex, I suppose. What are things looking like? Okay. So, AI is a little weak over here on this left side. Are they going to go with the triangular skink configuration, I'm going to guess? 2 skinks in front, no one in the back. All right. We have a very open lane for Dr. Ellie Sadler. So far, the disappointing thing about this game, too, while I'm thinking about just our overall position and assessment, we haven't generated we've generated 3 SPP, and that 3 SPP went to Dennis Nedry. We've had no injury rolls. We've had very few armor breaks. We really haven't done much of anything as far as experience goes. So the AI very effectively playing this Lizard Man team to cut off our lanes of advance. Our fence is still pretty good. And again, we don't have to necessarily go crazy balls to the wall here. What? If we could get rid of this man, we could put some pressure on the ball carrier. Let's... Come on, John. Very angry at John Hammond right now. Very angry at John Hammond right now. Very angry at John Hammond. Did I mention that I'm angry? And that I'm specifically angry at John Hammond? Yeah, because I'm angry at John Hammond. So this is definitively going to be our blitz. So let's just put some tackle zone on the ball carrier. Also gives us a chance to slaughter a skink, and if we can sacrifice a skink to the gods of sport, maybe this whole no-tie bullshit will finally be settled once and for all. I mean, clearly that's not the case. You know, we've gotten quite a few blocks on skinks, too, and we haven't had any not even any skink armor breaks. Our fighting capacity has felt really anemic. And maybe, you know what, maybe that's just Nuffle sort of making up for some of our earlier performances, which I have to say, where we've just been shredding armor like fucking tissue paper. We've really been tearing through it in a couple of our matches. That match we had against the High Elves was pretty fucking brutal. The match we had against the humans, pretty damn brutal. We've had some fairly brutal matchups. So maybe this is just things evening out. I am gonna re-roll this because I got the extra re-roll. The push is not what I was looking for, especially considering that man has fend. I wasn't gonna follow it up anyway, but yeah, it is what it is, I guess. We'll bring Ots of Dawn over here. It's not that it's going to do us any good. It doesn't give us a strength bonus or anything. We'll step up here with Dr. Ellie Sadler. I have a feeling that Dr. Henry Wu is going to get punched in the face. So what we're going to do is just enhance or reinforce our tackle zones with Dr. Wu. The island of Dr. Wu. And, well, fuck. Dr. Wu saved us the trouble. Fantastic. Getting some bum rolls here. Some bum rolls. Glad we brought this guy over to reinforce, however. Bringing Dennis Nedry over as backup is going to turn out to be a strong play because that prevents this guy from simply just dodging out of this tackle zone and wandering right up this gigantic hole on our left defensive flank. And it is a very big hole. The AI is actually not even going to take any chances with the block. Or with the dodge, rather. Okay, Timothy Murphy is KO'd. So the armor blocking has all, or the armor breaks have all been one-sided. I'm pretty sure we have not had an armor break. We may have stunned one person irrelevantly. The AI with back-to-back armor breaks, huh? Yeah, that's not at all suspicious. And Dr. Ian Malcolm also stunned. And now, what used to be a giant hole on our left side has turned into, I can't even call it a hole over here on the right, because why are you not going this way with the ball? You have the entire field that you're unopposed, AI. Why would you not come this direction? There's nothing we can do to you on this right side. You have unfettered access. Whatever. The AI refusing unfettered access to our backfield. I guess that's just not how they roll. A little bit of skinktastic blocking there. Our skink's doing a fairly effective job of maintaining our fence. A little bit of push. AI is going to follow that up. That's fine. We're probably going to try and crack this skink and get a tackle zone. All right, fucking Hammond, you garbage monster. You're making me fucking salty here. You're making me real fucking salty. I'm less salty now that you have a prehensile tail tackle zone on this skink, but I can't help but still be continually disappointed about our lack of skink armor breaking. We are not getting armor breaks on these skinks, and it's getting real disappointing. Still no armor breaks. Blocking skinks all day long. All the live long day, in fact. Nothing's coming out of it. That's a 1-die block, huh? Alright, well, we got one man off the field. We have another man who's stunned. We have to bring Ray Arnold over here to reinforce the fence. Just to try and make the AI, if they do want to circle back to the right, we're going to try and make them move as far as possible in order to do that. I think we paint here to give ourselves a little bit better block for Dennis Nedry. Or with Dennis Nedry, rather, to give Dr. Henry Wu a little better block. Because goddamn knows fucking Wu needs every advantage the bastard can get. Do something, Wu! Still no luck from an armor break perspective, so that's fantastic. We can step over here. This should give us a little bit of a bonus. Yeah, we can turn that into a 2-die block. Alexis Lex Murphy is still getting some shit done, at least. You're going to stay put, Lex. Still no armor breaks. The streak continues. I mean, as long as we're consistent, I guess I can't really complain. I'm going to take this dodge for the extra die of block here, and that's going to give Alan Grant a chance. All right. Alan Grant with the KO. That's good. Or at least a knockdown. Armor break, maybe? Holy shit, we broke somebody's armor. I mean, we only stunned him, so it's not an actual injury or whatnot, but I'll take what I can get at this point. It's not SPP, but at least it makes me feel better. Soothes my wounded pride. Beginning to question the fortitude of my formerly unquestionable Lizard Man team. You guys have made me into a doubting Thomas. You shouldn't feel good about the fact that you've made me into a doubting Thomas. You really shouldn't. My name's not even Thomas. I don't want to be alone either. That was a good roll for us, but all things considered, that could have turned out worse. John Hammond, lucky on the defense. The AI really didn't have a whole lot of opportunity to move the ball there. So I don't really fault him for taking the one-tile move here. This skink taking a very questionable move, though. That's going to end the turn because the AI has used their reroll. And suddenly, opportunity for Jurasskicked Park. Just with one tiny roll of the die, and now Golden Opportunity has reared her beautiful golden locks. 2-die block. We have both. Yeah, we're taking it. We have the block ability. Dr. Ellie Sadler. Oh, I know everybody made fun of your paleobotany degree, Dr. Ellie Sadler, but who's fucking laughing now, huh? Now who's laughing? I think we should try and put as much pressure over here as we can. This did not help at all, Dr. Grant. It was not what I needed to see from you, sir. Not even a little, not even at all. All right, well, Ian, you got to stand up. That's a given. I think John Hammond has to take the less impressive 2-die block here because we've got to get a tackle zone off of this ball. We can do that by popping this skink around ping-pong style. Unless that guy's injured, John Hammond, I really don't even give a shit. Yeah, he is not injured. I can't find the will to care, John Hammond. I just can't find the will to care. So, more 2-die blocks. And now what we're going to do is just take every opportunity we can get to pile a little punishment on this team. We have definitively slowed their advance. And we might be able to pop somebody else loose with a little block here. All right, Dr. Wu. Oh, Henry Wu. Give him the woo-woo. Show him your cooter, Dr. Wu. Actually, you're a lizard, so now that I think about it, you probably don't have a cooter. Probably a cloaca would be my guess. Let's see if we can pick this up. Do I want to use a reroll here? If it gets us a touchdown, it would be worth it. This is a very questionable reroll, though. Yeah, it didn't matter. Ball's bouncing around. Nobody's fucking picking that shit up ever. It actually landed in a pretty decent square for our team. That was a fairly fortuitous bounce. I'm regretting the reroll already, but we still have one. The extra team reroll did pay some dividends for us. 3 is much better than 2. That was fully expected. Our skink's going to go down. He's going to yell probably timber, which means he's not picking up the ball. Not that that's a big issue, really. We might be able to pile a corpse or two in that square in order to pop the ball free and maybe get some free chances to pick it up. Is the AI going to position themselves? Oh, that's a good roll. Little boxcars there, and Dr. Ian Malcolm is going down. He's going down like the star of Sloppy Blowjob 6. It's just going to be all over slop and slobber. So what are our chances of grabbing the old ball here? Pretty poor. What are the chances of maybe murdering some skinks? Not good, but probably less poor. Oh, we can only push them here or here. Here is good. And then let's push enemy skink to here. And do not follow. I kind of want to try and pick up the ball with John Hammond. If we get a chance to, if we get a chance that the last thing we can do, is pick up the ball with John Hammond, I'm probably going to do that. So Dr. Henry Wu going to take a 2-die block. We're going to push this skink over here. I'm considering fouling. But not because it would have very specifically useful purpose, but because it would get this guy out of the road. And I just kind of want him out of the way. Can't really do anything with you. Once again, Dr. Malcolm has got to stand up and be prepared to take one for the team. Let's bring you over here to paint. I think we should just continue our sort of campaign of skink murder where applicable. It's apparently applicable nowhere. You're going to stay put. We want you around that guy with the ball. It's only a 1-die block, huh? All right, well, let's go for the foul. I need this guy's body out of the way. We did get the foul. We did not roll doubles, so we're not getting set off, but having him stunned is not really useful for us. Not what we needed. We're never going to pick that up, right? Yeah, we have very little chance. And we need a 6 with John Hammond. Regardless of whether... All right, do you have block? Dr. Grant does have block, so take the 1-die. It's much safer when our guy has block as well, and this we absolutely will follow up. John Hammond needs a 6 to pick up the ball anyway, so you know what? Let's try it. Fuck you, Hammond. Fuck you. No, I'm not going to reroll Bonehead. Well, we may as well try this then. John Hammond clearly doesn't want fucking SPP. Well, that was disappointing, but let's see where the ball... No, I'm not gonna re-roll this. Bounces to a dead square and lands right in the middle of our formation. So all things considered, that could have turned out vastly worse. Once again, a fairly reasonable bounce. Still pissed off at John Hammond, by the way. That is one fewer tackle zone on the ball. And we're going to go back to trying to farm skinks for cheap SPP from injuries, because at this point, it's really the only positive progress we can make. We don't really have a whole lot else going for us. We should be able to eliminate all the enemy tackle zones on the ball, however, and then possibly pick it up. Another armor break. Dr. Alan Grant is KO'd. That guy does have Mighty Blow, so I guess I can't be too salty about the number of armor breaks we're getting. The AI probably should have used one of its 22 rerolls on that. I mean, there's no disadvantage to the AI using a reroll there. They have 2 left, and there are only 3 turns. Why would they not choose to use one? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Can we get the ball and score? We have a not 0 chance. That's just going to get dodged, which is fine. That's all we were looking to do, was knock that guy out of the way. I also did not want to follow that up and still followed it up anyway. I got to stop clicking that button so aggressively. All right, Hammond, let's have you blitz over here. Oh, now you decide to cooperate, huh? When you had a chance to pick up the ball and be the hero that we all wanted and needed you to be, you're boneheaded. And when it comes to... Yeah, okay, whatever. 2 SPP for John Hammond. You know what? Fuck it. I'll take it. He's badly hurt. John Hammond needs SPP desperately. He needs the block skill worse than anyone else on our team. So we should be able to pick up the ball relatively easily now. And we're going to get it and run like hell. Ball is picked up. Dennis Nedry taking said ball. And when I said run like hell, I actually did indeed mean it. Double go for it. We can put up the rudiments of a cage around Nedry. I'm assuming Dr. Ellie's going to fall. Holy shit, surprisingly, Dr. Ellie Sadler has managed to stay on her feet. Double go for it here for Alexis Lex Murphy. We do have the reroll, and if I need it, I will use it on this cage. Oh, Lex Murphy also shockingly agile. And a single go for it here for... well, we're not going to waste a reroll on that. We already used our reroll at some point? We didn't even get a chance to use our reroll. Why? Oh, he has dodge and he failed twice. That's why. I'm dumb. So what is the AI's goal here? What are they trying to do? I mean, they could throw a blitz at... Well, they could have until they did that. Now I don't think... No, they could. They still can. Now they just have to go for it twice. The AI should be able to pull this off. Even when this works, though, well, you've got to re-roll that AI. Okay. When this works and they get the block, which, well, they actually only got the push. And we have sidestep, so that puts us one step closer to the edge. Who's about to break? Stone Swarm's about to break. One step closer to the edge. And you're about to... Wait for it. Break! Ah, Linkin Park. I miss them writing every soundtrack to every movie ever. Say what you want about Linkin Park, but their songs make fantastic for soundtracks. They're good at that. All right, Alexis Lex Murphy, let's get a little block out of you. Beautiful. Lex is getting it done, pushing him to the edge, and I don't think we take any chances here. It is Dennis Nedry. It's more SPP for Nedry. I would love to hand it off and have Dr. Ellie Sadler score instead. 3 SPP for Sadler would be big. Actually, Sadler and... You know what? I'm not sure it's worth it. Nedry doesn't really need SPP. If we could get a unit who desperately needed SPP, like, say, John Hammond here, a chance for some SPP, we're absolutely going to do this, because with Mighty Blow against the stunty target, John Hammond has a reasonable opportunity for dealing some serious bodily harm here. Didn't really work out. Also, we should have pushed him to a different square. If I could get the ball to, like, a Dr. Henry Wu on a 33% with a handoff, it would be so fantastic to get these guys a little experience. The question is, do I want to just take the 3 SPP for Nedry? Because we can get it. Do I want to try and maybe use a reroll to get the SPP? Is it worth sacrificing 3 guaranteed SPP on Dennis Nedry in order for a double shot, because I would use the reroll if she failed, to get Ellie Sadler some more SPP? Honestly, though, if we're going to do that, we should probably give it to Lex Murphy. She's closer. She's 9 of 16. If we give her 3 more, she's a couple injuries away. What's your chance to hand off here? If we do this. Fuck it. Oh my god, the gods have smiled upon us. Also, Lex Murphy has already gone this turn, so it turns out that was sort of a terrible idea. Yeah, that was, in hindsight, not brilliant. Well, we're going to need some additional support back here, so let's double go for it. We didn't have to use our reroll, so we got that going for us. I've entered full gamble mode. That's what's happened here. I've gone into full gambler's mode. I'm really taking big chances for the big payoff. I don't just want the win. I want the huge win. If I were playing a slot machine, it'd be like, you know, I won $1,000, but the progressive jackpot is 22,000. So you know what? I'm going to take all 1,000 of these dollars, and rather than just take my money and go home, I'm going to take all 1,000 of these dollars and pump them back in the machine in order to get a little bit of a shot at that huge payday. Also, the AI absolutely should have blocked me to that square instead. And we're going to take some very serious pounding. Oh, our skinks are getting railed. Robert Muldoon is dead. Well, he's not dead. No casualty. Vastly preferable to dead, and Mr. Apothecary, let me just say, sir, you have fucking earned your paycheck today. All 50,000 gold of it. That right there, you earned your payday. And this is what I get for being greedy. That's Blood Bowl. That's the Blood Bowl god. That's Nuffle right there trying to tell me, hey, fuckwad, stop being a douchebag. Stop being a piece of shit. Stop trying to do stupid crap. You should have just fucking scored that touchdown. Trying to get SPP to a player who could maybe use it very slightly more than your premier skink. That scumbag kind of shit is going to get you fucked in the butthole pooper. Also, the AI KO'd themselves on a dodge roll, which is nice. So, Dr. Ellie Sadler has the ball. We would prefer, should the opportunity arise, to not have Dr. Ellie Sadler be the first person to block. So let's do this nice little 2-die blitz. Oh, Ellie Sadler actually is, never mind. It's not Ellie who has the ball. Who has the ball? It doesn't matter because it's going in the end zone, and I don't have any rerolls, so Alexis Lex Murphy is going to fucking score this touchdown. Go get him, Lex. 3 SPP for Lex. All right, I took a chance. The chance paid off. I'm feeling better about my decision, if not good. First time we've seen a Sariel touchdown dance. Not the first time we've seen the cheerleaders shaking that ass. You shake that money maker, girl. Shaking my moneymaker has never made me a single cent. Nobody wants to look at my moneymaker. Also, does it still count as a moneymaker if it's never actually made you any money? I mean, shaking my ass has never made me shit. In fact, shaking my ass has actively harmed me in several situations. It's been like a negative benefit. We are going to have to readjust our defense a little bit here to establish a fence. We shouldn't need the fence too terribly long since the AI has exactly 1 turn. And I don't expect them to be able to do a lot. Unless the ball lands in one of these skinks' hand. And you know what? No, there's no combination that allows the AI to score. So we're going to kick it right at this guy and hope that he catches it. Oh, we got an extra reroll. Not sure what we're going to do with it. We don't really need it. Okay, yep, this game's over then. 2-0. I mean, it was over as soon as we scored because there was no way the AI was going to score 2 touchdowns. But this turn is going to be, other than incoming injuries, completely irrelevant for Jurasskicked Park. We do have to worry about incoming injuries, so we want to keep an eye on that. AI should probably try and throw a meaningless SPP pass, although that's not something the AI is coded to do. And they didn't even... They still had a reroll, right? Oh, no, they... Okay, all right, the AI used all of their rerolls. We, however, have not, so let's start making some good stuff happen. All right, John Hammond. 1 more injury. You son of a bitch, Hammond. Come here. Every fucking you know, who cares? As long as Hammond doesn't injure himself as well, it's fine. It's the end of the match. John Hammond was really fucking off his game this time. I gotta say, he was disappointing in the extreme. Which probably means he'll get the MVP award, because if Blood Bowl has taught me anything, it's that the MVP always goes to the person who embarrasses themselves the most. We got 90,000 in winning. That's no way we're re-rolling that. Fan factor goes up by 1. Odds of Dawn, yeah, you can go straight to hell. Let's look at the stats. So Stone Swarm actually beat us on possession by a pretty considerable margin, but not one time did we have the ball in our own half. Both times we had the ball, it was on the opponent's half the entire time. Opponent only in our half 18% of the time, but one of the few teams that's actually managed to have the ball on our half of the field. And I would like to point out the AI could have scored 1 touchdown if they weren't an idiot. We both succeeded in 46 blocks, but you have to notice the huge disparity here in armor breaks. 4 KOs for the AI and 1 injury, us with but a single injury. 54 yards total offense to their 30. We sustained, of course, 46 blocks. Yeah, we don't even need to look at that page, really. SPP, how'd we do? Well, 5 and 2. So they got 1 for injury, 5 for MVP. Dr. Ian Malcolm, our MVP. That's good. Alexis Lex Murphy, 3 for the touchdown. John Hammond, 2 for the injury. Dennis Nedry, of course, 3 for his touchdown as well. Malcolm may have leveled. Possibly. It's going to be... It'll be a close situation. Let's take a look and see if Dr. Ian Malcolm did, in fact, level up. I don't think he did. Oh, no, he did. Okay. Malcolm must have had an injury on his sheet. All right, then. Come on. Give me something good. Give me a double. Or we could take a 7 and just pick block. Done. Well, that was easy. So Dr. Ian Malcolm's level taken care of. Let's rearrange our players because, of course, I do like to keep them sorted by SPP totals. Only a tiny switch for Dr. Ian Malcolm and Ellie Sadler. Can't help but notice that Henry Wu and Timothy Tim Murphy still fucking in the cellar with the goose egg on the scoreboard. No SPP for either one of those fuckers. John Hammond picking up a much-needed 2. We have got to do some stuff here with this cash because we're sporting way too much. So we're going to pick up a 3rd reroll. I really feel that's a very strong addition. We still have 140 grand. I think it's time to upgrade our stadium. I really want to buy a magical dome. That leaves us 40 grand, so we still have enough. If we need a replacement skink, we will be able to afford it. And the dome will cost us 100 grand, so of course we can't afford it, but that is what we'll be buying. Next week's opponent is going to be the Ironhead Breakers, clearly a dwarf team. So again, very bashy here. Our last 3 fights have been against equally bashy teams. Dwarves not necessarily as bashy as either orcs or lizardmen, but definitely more resilient to injury. Which is one advantage that dwarves have if you're playing in a Blood Bowl league. You have sort of an innate ability to deny your opponent SPP by just simply never being injured. Will that work out for the Ironhead Breakers? I suppose we'll find out next week. If you enjoyed the episode, feel free to drop a like down in the comment section. Your support does really mean a lot to us. If you'd like to see more Blood Bowl action, you might consider subscribing as well. We post new episodes every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday. Right now, however, thanks very much for watching, and we'll see you again soon. And remember, once you go Jurassic, you're gonna get your ass kicked.